Hickory Con Part 2. So, we went back to Hickory. This is the first convention we ever did. It was in the same location, the same convention center, but it was in a different room. Is much smaller than Asheville a couple of weeks ago, but it's still a pretty good size, still much bigger than Nashville. I talked to the organizer when he went around taking money for the table. And I think he said it was like about 2,000 people came for the show. So it wasn't a massive turnout, but it turned out to be pretty good for us, um, at least, relatively speaking. We sold two copies of Neotheric, two copies of 6-8, one copy of Book of Legend, which is the first copy of that book I've sold so far this year. Uh, and my daughter sold a set of her books. And I think that's about it. So again, the table fee was only 20 bucks. Gas now is what, like $10,000. So, um, uh, yeah, so it's all right. And just to show you a picture here, this is the setup. Again, this is the new setup that I came up with, and it's maybe a little difficult to see in this picture. I'll have some more to go through. But basically, what I did is you see on the bottom here, what I did is these are basically boxes with the backside is open. So when we're behind the table, we can put things up underneath that. The reason why I did it this way is so if you see basically what I had on the sides before, I had one column here and then one column here. So there was two columns on the side, and on the back side where we're standing, there was only one column on each side, and it would go up and you have the arch. So this time I basically flipped it around. So you on the side only has one column, and on the back has two columns. Now, on a 6 foot table, it's a little kind of not ideal because you only have this one opening here in the middle where I can stand and talk to people. So it makes it a little weird. I kind of feel like Miracle Max from The Princess Bride, sticking my head out, and say, "Hey, how you doing? Have fun storming the castle." Uh, yeah, but on an 8 foot table, it would be great, like we had in Asheville a couple weeks ago. But I didn't have this design then. But if when we do in the future, when we have a 8 foot table, then I could put two in here to pull it out a little bit, and then that'll give me more space in the middle to stand there and talk to people and stuff. So basically what it is so again it's got the box kind of like a box on the bottom, so then the book will sits on top of it, and I wanted to do that because then it raises the book up more to eye level when people go by, and hopefully people will notice it. And also right behind that is the sign. See, I can zoom in. I'm stupid, I didn't even think about zooming in. uh yeah, so um okay, so we'll just start here. Yeah, so so the bottom here, this is like these little boxes here. It's like I said, it's open in the back, so you can see back there, I got little things back there we could stick in there and have our water bottles and all that kind of stuff in the back, and people can't see that. So then you have, I can hang these mini prints on the front of it. Then I got the book. It's more, like I said, more at eye level. You see, I updated the signs. There is, I put the Deadpool's face on there, then Lobo's face on there, the Crow, Eric Draven, and then this is the, what's it? Now, why am I having a brain fart all of a sudden with Twin Peaks? Laura's father. The actor's name is Ray, but anyway, so this is an image of him I just grabbed off the internet. So yeah, having the act, not just the name, but having the actual character's face, I think it helps to grab people's attention right away. And so basically, what I doing here, what I was trying to do is that, so this one column is one book. So everything here, all the way from the front, then I got these, the 8 by 10s in the folder here, the binder, then the mini prints, then the book, then the sign, then the 11 by 17s. So this all one column, this is neotheric. This column is all 6/8. This column is split between, Gun Engine Zero and then Epic of Darkness, which is the new book that try to kickstart in a few months. And then this last one is mostly Book of Legend, but we also have, since I don't have an 11 by 17 of any characters in Book of Legend, I just used the promo poster and kind of stuck it right there, right behind the book. Um, so this one's not ideal, but it is what it is. So I had ordered a couple of more 11 by 17s from Comics Wellspring, but they didn't come in yet. They still haven't shipped them, so I don't even know if I'm going to have them for the next convention in Orlando. But I made one that has the mask down here, 11 by 17 of that image, and then have this one, this character, 11 by 17 of that, and then I have this one, this character also in the Epic of Darkness. I made that into an 11 by 17. So there's three 11 by 17s that I ordered a couple weeks ago, just didn't get them in time. So those would have gone up here. And then this would have been down here, and this would have been down here, and maybe like one of these would be over here instead. Um, so I figured that this is better, a better way to sort of organize things and kind of direct people's eyes into stuff. Like I said, it raises up the books a little more so they're more prominent, and keeps it, so each book and each property is kind of has its own little section. And then I just had here on the front of the table this binder with the 8 by 10 prints. And for Neotheric and for 6/8, I also have the actual book itself inside these little sleeves because I had a couple that were damaged in shipping. So I just cut up every page and stuck them in the sleeves so that way when people come up and they can look through. And this gives me a chance also to talk to people. Like when people come up and they start flipping through the 8 by 10s, which is very common. You see Artist Alley, they always have the portfolios and stuff. People come up and start flipping through them. Once they do that, then I say, hey, by the way, the whole book is in there. You can flip through the whole book and see. I think this is important for people to actually see the inside of the book, see the art in it on the inside of the book. So I need to figure out a way to put Book of Legend also, some of that there. I don't want to cut up a whole book because I don't have any that's damaged. And again, that's the only reason I cut those up for a 6/8 nail Theric is because they're already messed up. But I don't want to cut up a perfectly good book. So I may just print out some of the pages and try to put them on like nicer paper or whatever and stick them somewhere. Um, I did not have also just here while I'm doing this. So and then also in the center, I have my daughter's stuff. So we have the two books here. This is an updated sign. I made the new sign, so I put this in the middle. So two books are separate, and this fits right here in the middle of these two. This part of the cage, and then her portfolio with her artwork is all in this one. So we still have the stickers there. Nobody bought any stickers. Nobody really looked at the stickers that much. Um, what I had done here was, see, it says buy a book and get free stuff. So I figured maybe this would be an extra incentive to try to attract people to the books. And I got a what I was doing was I was tell people if you buy a book, you can get a sticker or one of these mini prints for free, just to try to help push the books. Uh, so I didn't have before I had up here was were the metal trading cards and the bookmark and the print. So I didn't have any space this time for that. So what I did is I just made a um, this little sign here. So it's got the bookmark stuck to it, and I just hang the print up there, and then there's just one of the trading cards right there. So if anybody, I figured if anybody was interested in that kind of stuff, they saw it, they asked about it, then I could show them the binder where I have all of the different trading cards and stuff. But the reason why I was like, just take it out is because like in Asheville and Nashville, hardly anybody even looked at that stuff. So I just took it out. You know, don't have that much room. So the next convention is in Orlando. It's going to be June 18th. We'll be leaving next week to go down there. I don't know if it's going to be a 6 foot table or an 8 foot table. I think it's going to be a 6 foot table. So I'm going to keep the setup the way it is. And, just hopefully I'll get those other 11 by 17s so I can display those and see if anyone's interested in that. So again, what I'm doing is focusing on now, again, is I'm trying to get the books. I mean, make the books more prominent, push the books. The prints and everything else is just a supplement to the books to get people interested in like the characters and things like that. And a lot of people come by and like the point, like these pictures here and like this one here, people say comments, oh, that's really nice. I really like that. So it does bring people to the table sometimes, but um, the economy is like so bad now. I thinking maybe just people are real tight with their money, real careful with it, which is obviously understandable. Believe me, I know we're kind of hurting now too. Uh, but so the point of the focus of what I'm going to be doing for from now on for these conventions until like September with is really pushing these the ash cans, printing out a bunch of those, just giving them away. I put the flyer that I made inside here, so it's just as a promotional thing. Try to get people, even if they don't buy something at the show, maybe when they go home later, they'll sign up on they'll look on the website, they'll sign up on Substack, the newsletter, and then when I launched the campaign for Epic of Darkness, that they'll jump on board it, and hopefully that could be the final. I mean, that could finally be the thing that really jump starts everything. One thing is interesting. I noticed because I noticed it in Nashville and Asheville, and then now here I see something that's kind of funny is that there's like a pattern. It's like when the show starts, every show so far it starts at 10 o'clock. People come in, you'll see a few people come in, trickle in, they'll look around. Those people don't usually buy anything. I'm just talking about for me. I don't know about obviously about other vendors and stuff. But after lunchtime, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, that's really when people start to show up. People start buying stuff. And what's funny is, like an hour before the show shuts down, so it shuts down at 5 o'clock, so maybe about around 4 o'clock, you'll see people start breaking down their stuff. The vendors start breaking down their stuff. And a lot of them will go around to the other tables and start buying stuff. So you're selling to other vendors, and which is kind of funny because I even did it too. I'll show when I was walking through when we first got there. uh, I saw a guy who had This Colossus Marvel slot from Diamond. I've been looking for this forever. Colossus is like my favorite X-Men. I always wanted this. It's a great figure. It's an awesome figure. Let me flip it around. He's like 9 inches tall. He's got his classic uniform. I think he looks cool. He's like the best version I've ever seen of Colossus in an action figure. So I was looking around forever for him for this. I got it for 30 bucks, and the guy had it. I saw he was like breaking down his stuff. I ran over and I just got it. But so you see that a lot. It's like right before the show ends, it's other vendors go around and start buying stuff from each other, which is really funny. And a guy came over. It was an artist, and he came over and he bought Neil Therick like just before we started breaking stuff down. Um, but just to show some other things quick. So that's the more closer up on the front of the table. Like I said, I added the faces of Deadpool and Lobo and the Crow, Eric, Brandon Lee, just because I think it can help to catch people's eye, other rather than just the name logo. And so I might do that also with these signs too, like have ROM or something, or I don't know. Kind of, it's still kind of cluttered, so I don't really have much space to do that. I got this laptop recently, so they could watch movies and stuff when we take trips and when we're at this thing. Uh, Battery was bad, so I had to replace the battery for it. But it was only altogether it was only like 150 bucks. Um, so this is the back side of the display where we stand. So as you can see on the bottom, this is only the back side is open, so that way we can put our stuff inside there and still use the table, still usable space there for us. Underneath the table, I got the prints, and there's a bag we got with food and drinks and stuff, and the books, and this little cart that we use to carry everything. And you can see the lights I use. Just stick those behind there, and well, let me see. So in this picture, I didn't have the lights on yet, or in any of these, so you can't really see the effect. But the paper that I use for these signs is called presentation paper. It's like a little bit more expensive paper, and when you do like these graphics and stuff, they really they really shine, and the white is really white. So when I turn the light on, the sign it kind of glows, so it almost looks like it's a light up sign, but just because it reflects so much of the white light from the sign, so it looks really good. I mean, it really stands out. I just didn't put those up when I took this picture. Um, and then the lady next to us was doing these airbrush tattoos, and she just did one for my son and daughter for free, which is nice of her. Is really nice of her. She's wearing a Sven Gulli T-shirt. I thought was funny. Um, so my son got Spider-Man, and my daughter got this sea turtle. And so this is what we were and back here where they had the cosplay contest, little stage there, and this was right in front of our table. So we were facing the very back of the hall and where they did this. And so again, it kind of sucked because we were all the way at the end. Um, so like I was talking to the other guy next to us, and he was saying like we were talking about this whole thing about your placement in the convention, how it can really affect your sales and stuff because when people first come in, they go up and down the rows. By the time they get to your row, they probably have spent all the money they got. So this is something that's a challenge to kind of address and deal with. So that's about it for Hickory Con Part 2. Uh, Again, like I said, coming up is Orlando, Florida. It's called Hero Hype. I think it's in a hotel also. So I don't know how big the room is going to be. I don't know how big the table is going to be. I mean, it's at least 6 feet, 6 foot table. Um, Hopefully I'll have those 11 by 17s so I can display those, and we'll see how that goes. So I'll do another video recapping that one, and you can check that out. And also do stuff on Facebook and Instagram showing all this, my adventure and this journey doing conventions, and on the website too. So if you want to check that out, and where you can find my Substack newsletter, and uh, follow us along this whole journey. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.